we're dead to straight down the middle right at this point in time. I think there are enough people out there who are doing things that are not point driven, that are starting to see and understand that it's not one person's opinion that makes a great wine list, that makes a great wine, that knowing what you do and what your customers need and what they want are what drives a good wine list. I'd put it at a 50-50 split around the country right now. I think we have more and more people interested in the idea of learning about how to write a wine list, about what should be on a wine list. I think there is this whole generation who wants to know what's next, what's interesting, what's new out there. And this inquisitive nature to me is promising. I think there's a lot of potential out there. I think there's also potential to go the other way, that you get lazy, that you're inundated by so much information that you feel you don't have the time to make those decisions, so then you look to someone else, whether it be a Parker or a Spectator or something like that, to tell you what you should have on your list. There are those people out there as well. And my hope is that those people don't win.
Right.
That's ultimately our goal. Those people don't win.
Right. But we're maturing as, wine buyers. Do you think that across the country, as you visit markets all over the U.S. and visit with sommeliers and wine merchants across the country, do you think we're becoming more mature as wine buyers? We're getting beyond this
slowly.
This points thing?
Yeah, slowly. I do. I guess I mentioned kind of the generational shift. I think we have three generations of wine buyers out there. You and I are in the middle of. We have people who are above us who trained us or didn't train us, people below us who are learning from us. And I think we're kind of at the crux of it right now, that we have the opportunity to teach those people. That we have to take the opportunity to teach those people. Otherwise, we're all going to fall on the bad side, where they're going to go the easy route and write things on their wine list that someone else says that they should have there.
Yeah.
I think there are more and more interesting people out there. I do see a groundswell of wine lists out there that are interesting. I don't think all of them are correct, but I do think there's a new round of restaurateurs out there, particularly on the small chef-driven restaurants, that are doing interesting wine lists. And I hope more and more people pay attention to those and are willing to take the chance with those. We're moving away from the big chain-driven restaurants out there who are point whores, for whatever lack of a better term, to this small guy saying, here's some interesting wine, try it and take a chance. And again, you and I have opportunity to train people of drink these interesting things, tell your customer about them, let's have the opportunity to educate them.
Yeah.
That's what I hope happens.
And we just tasted 9 fantastic wines from the Rosenthal portfolio. Can you sum up the Rosenthal philosophy?
Absolutely.
And just
Rosenthal philosophy is pretty easy. 35 years of Neal deciding what he wants to drink, and it pretty much starts first and foremost with what Neal wants to drink. So Neal we buy everything in our portfolio based on his palate. And I think he has a great palate, but his palate starts with acidity. And if a wine doesn't have enough acidity in it, you'll never see it in the Rosenthal portfolio. There's not big, rich, super opulent, smack you at the head of the 2x4 wines in our portfolio. They are about acidity first and foremost. After that, it is about minerality. After that is about clean, ripe fruit. Not overripe, not extracted fruit, but fruit that is treated properly, that is clean, that comes in at appropriate. And those are the 3 basic tenets of all the wines in the Rosenthal portfolio. After that, it starts with the producer. The producer is small, family-driven, terroir-driven, that sense of place. I hope that every single wine that we tried today takes you to a place. Transportive wines that you have a sip of and it takes you to the mountains, or it takes you to the windswept south of France, or it takes you to that nice, cool Burgundian morning. Sense of place, I think, is really what Neal's done for the last 30 years. And it's what drew me to this portfolio. Every single time I had a glass of something, I knew where it was coming from. You're never drinking something from Neal's book that, what is this?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have a sense of place.
And they're great food wines because
acidity.
Yeah. And they're dry. They're made in, all of these wines are made in a style that I think is very, very authentic and very traditional.
Yes.
To the area. So
authentic. It's a great word for our portfolio, the philosophy. authentic wines. I've liked the Italian phrase typicity. It's been one of my favorite phrases of wine world, typicity, that sense of place. It's a little different than the idea of terroir. Typicity is a wine that this is a unique wine for its place, for its time. And I think that's the vein that runs through. Why they are such great food wines is that they're honest wines. They are wines from place. They're wines that, if you eat and drink local, you can open up any of these wines. If you have some food that's similar to that indigenous to that area, you're right on.
Awesome. Hey, thank you, Tony.
My pleasure.
Awesome.